this is the election, that we're going to look and say either we did the right thing and we got out and voted and we took back our state legislature and we made them, you know, I haven't even gotten into the assaults on democracy that have happened there. There have been some egregious overstepping of boundaries to kind of do an end run around the democratic process. And those are things that I only found out later. Things like the immediate effect, the way they count the ballots, things like slamming, attacking the Michigan Education Association, specifically retirement benefits. All of those things have been done by a legislature that doesn't have a clear mandate to do so. And,
the least educated one that we've had in a long time.
And I want you to know that around the state there were, when I declared, about 18 or 19 MEA members who were beginning to run at that. I don't know how many of them have dropped out. I think one or two may have. And my primary opponent is also an MEA member. So we're the only ones, I think, in the entire state that are duking it out amongst ourselves, which is why the MEA is staying way back. Right? But I want to say that I'm the president of my union at the college, and I have a pretty good relationship with the people, the UNICEF directors, both Mary Lieberman and Jeannie O'Callahan up in Sioux, as well as Bob Kwiatkowski and Sheboygan. So I feel a pretty strong affiliation on the part of the MEA, and I've got to talk to them several times to ask them their advice, taking the temperature of the teachers, because I feel like it's teachers who really have borne teachers and women who have borne the brunt of much of this legislature, much of their actions.
Recently, our son, who works for the prison system, had a $1.50 pay cut per hour.
Really?
And it was primarily done by rechanging his classification.
So they reclassified him to a lower level?
They went around the union by redefining the classification of the employees.
How is that? I'm sure that's being challenged legally by the union.
Not yet, that I'm aware of.
Well, see, that's the problem. Even if it's challenged by the union, and there's been lots of legislation that has been challenged, but it gets hung up in the courts. They pass it with immediate effect, and we can't do anything. It languishes there until we can get to it.
He says, I'm still doing the same job, but
right, that's wrong. And I'm sure he's written letters.
He's 2 years away from retirement. And so in order to make up for the lost wages, he's got to work extra shifts.
Right.
And he's working all the time. He's got 2 shifts at Kinross, and he's got a security job that he has to fill in with. And he hardly ever gets a chance to see his family.
Right. That's just wrong.
And that was simply because the governor changed his classification that he had held for 18 years.
And he had no chance of rebutting this?
The governor found a way to work his magic there.
Doesn't that sound like more of a, I don't know.
Sounds crooked.
Totalitarian.
Yeah, it sounds like something that would happen in Syria or Egypt, not in the United States. When did this happen? We're so busy watching the Arab Spring, we take our eyes off from our own government for a few minutes, and things like this happen that are just obviously wrong. Huge houses that kind of they don't get reassessed because our representative passed a bill through to make sure that certain condominium associations don't get reassessed and they don't pay the taxes. And what was that bill? House Bill
4663.
4663, and I think 64. That passed through, and so 2 associations near us have not been reassessed, and that amounts to about $150,000 to $200,000 to one certain school district in the area, which now has had to lay off 5 to 6 teachers who are needed, and that's directly at Foster's doorstep. He's the one who introduced that.